Good evening, everyone. This is EDL 851, Module 12, my case study on evaluation of school personnel. My name is Stephanie Thompson, and before I get started, I just wanted to thank all of you for your feedback and your insight on all of my work that I did throughout this course, and I wish all of you the best of the luck moving forward. And thank you, Dr. Adams, for the time and commitment you put into our course to help us become better educators. So first and foremost, let's summarize the facts of this case study. We'll act as though I'm the principal, and the deadline for our teacher evaluations for the year is nearing and is in sight. Mrs. Stevens appears to be a struggling teacher in this case study. I have visited her classroom several times. Her classes were noisy, moving about, and had what seemed to be little respect for their teacher. The students didn't appear to be engaged in their learning, and Mrs. Stevens, however, is an intelligent and excellent in her content. I conducted a post-evaluation conference with Ms. Stevens, and she became irritable and hostile to suggestions I made about classroom management. I suggested ideas for improvement, and they appeared to be a problem. She appeared to have a problem motivating her class. No progress was gained throughout our meetings, and she left somewhat irrational. I visited her classroom the following Monday to evaluate before making a decision to renew or non-renew her contract. No changes had taken place in her classroom from Thursday to Monday, and I scheduled a meeting to debrief, and I made the decision to non-renew. That is what we know. Legal and ethical issues in this case. If this decision upholds, Mrs. Stevens will clearly lose her job. Mrs. Stevens, however, is intelligent and knowledgeable, as I stated earlier. She doesn't have classroom management skills. She lacks the ability to motivate her students and is refusing to make improvements to her teaching practices. If a favorable evaluation is given, it would grant Mrs. Stevens tenure, and granting tenure would mean that we were somewhat stuck with this teacher that wasn't making growth in herself or growth in her students. Mrs. Stevens threatened getting the courts involved in our last meeting together. She does not feel her evaluation was fair, and she states that she wasn't provided any real actionable feedback by me and threatens legal action. Not knowing the district or the board policies for this specific case, if there was a breach of contract, it would depend on what school we were working in and what the negotiated agreement was. So basically, to synthesize, Ms. Stevens having difficulty engaging her students in the learning process, which resulted in less than favorable evaluation, leading to a non-renewed contract. So where are we going to go from here? Synthesizing the facts. The people involved in this case are obviously myself as principal, the students, current and future students as well, and of course the teacher, Mrs. Stevens. There is so much in this case study that is unknown. It was kind of hard to work through it and understand how I would handle this situation as the principal, but like I said, lots of unknown facts. So the people who are involved, I really wanted to know how long Mrs. Stevens had been in the district, how long I had been principal in the district, what kind of prior relationship had been built between Mrs. Stevens and myself, and did I do any footwork prior to the formal evaluation, and did my feedback that I did give her promote the future success and well-being of students and adults in this situation. The place it's taking, or the place we're at, obviously a school building and in a classroom setting. We don't know the size of the districts. We don't know the demographics. We don't know retention rates in our building, or even district-wide. The program, we don't really know much about the curriculum. We don't know anything about what she's teaching or what subject level or how old her students are. We don't know if there's a mentor in place. I don't know whether professional learning opportunities have been conducted previously prior to this evaluation. I'm uncertain about walkthroughs and what the data shows through those walkthroughs. I also wonder if she's had an opportunity to observe any other teachers throughout this process. So I'm going to prioritize the information. Could this situation or decision be damaging to stakeholders or community? Absolutely. However, I think it depends on the relationship I have with my stakeholders in the district and in our community, and how they feel about Mrs. Stevens as well. Do the community and stakeholders and other staff, do the students appear to like her? Is she engaged with collaborating with her peers? Is she involved in extracurricular activities? We just don't know those things. Who has stake in this outcome? Obviously Mrs. Stevens does, our students do, and also myself. And I want to talk briefly about the safety of the students in Ms. Stevens' classroom a little bit later. Have relevant stakeholders been consulted? I don't believe so. Our case study didn't say that I had talked to any board members or superintendent or anything like that. So there's just a lot of information missing here. Can I learn from this situation? I can learn a lot from this situation. I believe that there was a lot in this case that was left out, and lots of things need to be addressed. Do I have enough information to make a decision? I could make a tough decision in this case, but I do not believe I would have followed the process to evaluate staff in an effective manner to promote the success and well-being of staff and students. I came up with 3 options here for this case study. Option 1, the pros. I think I skipped a slide. Just kidding. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Sorry, everybody. Option 1, go through with the non-renewal, as I said that I would do in my last meeting with Mrs. Stevens. I did conduct several evaluations with her. I did have post-evaluation conferences. Mrs. Stevens made no changes in her approach to classroom management from Thursday to Monday, as far as I could tell. And Mrs. Stevens appears to be against growing as an educator. Option 2, decide to not go through with the non-renewal. Hope she improves, avoid conflict, and just hope things get better. Option 3, put a plan of improvement in place for Mrs. Stevens. Meet with her to see if she's willing to work together to improve her success as an educator and the success in the students that she has the opportunity to grow. Now, I'm sorry I skipped this slide. So now we'll evaluate the options here. The pros of option 1, Ms. Stevens wouldn't be tenured in our district. She can hire a new teacher, or I would have the ability to hire a new teacher more aligned with our school mission and our visions. The possible cons here, I might get myself in the legal battle depending on what state I'm working with, and what board policy and negotiated agreements say, but there's just so much unknown. There could be possible conflict with stakeholders, but option 2, I don't think there's any pros to option 2. You're not doing your students a disservice. No one's going to grow. Other staff members are going to lose trust in our evaluation process, and they won't be meaningful. And most importantly, our students are going to suffer the consequences of Ms. Stevens's lack of ability or lack of want to grow. Option 3, the pros, a relationship could be rebuilt. Growth will take place for both the teacher and the student. Collaboration will be taking place, and it holds everyone to the highest of standards. Cons, it takes time and patience for me as the school leader. I'm obviously going to go with option 3 here to implement my decision. And I want to make it clear that I don't think it's a bad thing to not renew teachers, but I don't think that myself as principal took the necessary steps prior to the conference or prior to her evaluation. I didn't communicate with her beforehand, or it didn't appear that I did. I didn't talk to her about expectations. There was just a lot of pre-planning work that I don't think happened. So although option 1 is probably going to happen to all of us at some point in our career, I don't think this case study proves that that's the best option. So I'm going to go with option 3. And the first thing I'm going to do is meet with our superintendent to discuss the situation and inform him or her of our decisions moving forward. Secondly, I'm going to schedule a meeting with Mrs. Stevens that is convenient for both of us. Third, I'm going to inform Mrs. Stevens of her decision and work initially to repair the tarnished relationship. Fourth, we're going to work together to prepare a plan of improvement for her. Included in this plan, we will set 3 or 4 goals that we can agree upon and we'd like to see accomplished before the fall evaluation. Fifth, we're going to collaborate together to find professional learning opportunities that we both feel would be beneficial in meeting the goals in the improvement plan, such as assigning a mentor teacher, observing other teachers with great classroom management strategies, or any other things that she might feel important. Sixth, we'll meet often to address needs and have discussions to what is working or what isn't working and provide her constant support to grow professionally. bottom line in this case study, I think it's messy. I think the situation from start to finish was really messy, from the principal's actions to providing her basically a Thursday to a Monday to improve. We never really talked about the students all that much. How did the students feel? We didn't survey students. We didn't ask them about what they're learning. We didn't have conversations with them, which I think is a big point that was missed. I also go back to the part about students and if they're safe. I think that if they're safe and there's no harm going on in the classroom, there's nothing to worry about as far as the safety of the students in there, then Mrs. Stevens deserves an opportunity for me to be a better leader, and provide her opportunities for growth and give her time to meet those goals and to make those necessary changes. Again, I don't know if she's a first-year teacher or a 10th-year teacher, and I think that changes the scenario significantly as well. So again, I think this is a messy case study, but if I was in this situation, I would definitely do things differently as administrator, as I mentioned. Give Mrs. Stevens an opportunity to grow, be there to collaborate, be there to support her growth, and provide the necessary tools for her to become better rather than just throw in the towel after basically what seemed to be a 4 or 5 day stretch of time. Thank you for listening. I hope you guys continue to have great experiences in your classes, and good luck in the future. Take care. Thank you.